What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prices Are Too High. Whoops. Let me tilt this thing back a bit so y'all can see me. Okay, here we go. I forgot to start the intro. I don't know. I forgot to add an intro. Hold on. Folks, let me see something. Okay. So before we get started, I'm gonna throw in the intro. Once we throw in the intro of the podcast, we're gonna get started on today's topic. So, vacations. How far in advance should you plan, and always have a plan B. So that's the topic of this podcast. Hold on, folks. Come on, man. I freaking swear, technology just wants to be difficult. So come on. There we go. Oops. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Podcast Wednesday, everybody. Good to see everybody here. We have 7 people in here in the chat. Welcome in Nick, Fifi, Amrose, Darlene. Good to see you. Good to see all of you guys. So this is going to be a 40-minute podcast. Everybody's not going to be a long podcast because I have to head to work soon. So I'm going to try to keep it 40 minutes. So it's not going to be a long podcast. I was waiting for Mom to head out the door so I can be able to get started. But anyways, good to see all of you guys. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. So Podcast Wednesday is back, everybody. I'm going to be podcasting every single Wednesday, starting today all the way until the 25th of next month. Well, I'll probably still be on vacation, but I'm going to podcast anyway that day. Sebastian, good morning to you. How you doing? But let's get started into the top. Let's get right into the topic because I don't have that much time left, so I have to be to work soon. So let's get started. Let me see. Vacations. How far in advance should you plan? And always have a plan B. So right now I'm in the middle of still planning my vacation to Florida. This podcast makes me want a vacation. Fifi's, try and take one as soon as you can. Hey Juanita, good to see you. How you doing, Juanita? Good to see you. So yeah, I feel like when it comes down to vacations, we need to plan enough time in advance. So right now I'm still in the middle of planning, because planning can take a lot of time. Planning can really take a lot of time, and some people plan up to a year in advance for vacations. Like if you're going to be traveling, like for example, if you're going to travel during the holiday season or especially the Christmas break, Thanksgiving, you need to plan at least a year in advance for those type of things. Or if you're going to be planning during a holiday weekend, plan a year. I would say like Labor Day weekend. Everybody is going out, they're traveling, doing things. Hey Layla, good to see you. And some people been planning months in advance, because we all know Labor Day is basically the last part of summer break. It's basically the end of summer break. So you really want to plan, you really want to play your cards right and plan in advance. Because if you don't plan in advance, because you have to think about the expenses, because the prices are gonna really triple this weekend, because it's a holiday weekend. It's gonna triple this weekend. Hey Sean, good to see you. You really want to plan. You really want to have your cards, especially when it comes down to flying. Whether you're flying, you're either taking a train, you're driving. You gotta really plan. It's always good to plan in advance. And I'm gonna just say this: planning something at the last minute for a weekend like this holiday weekend coming up, it will really mess you up. It will seriously mess you up if you plan at the last minute. You have to plan in advance. Like if you're gonna be flying, you gotta think about traffic. The airport traffic, and then there's also gonna be you're gonna be dealing with hundreds of other people. And then you also got to get through security as well. So security can take up to about an hour at the airport. It definitely can take up to about an hour at the airport. And you want to make sure, like, if you have like a 12, if your flight's at 12:45, you know, and say you're flying to Washington DC, you want to get to the airport early enough so you can be able to make that 12:45 flight to Washington DC. So this is the thing though. You don't want to see here. I'm gonna give one example. So one example was I was on my way coming back to New York from Georgia. This is the thing though. You know, my dad, he was so busy partying and this and that. He was so busy partying all night that I even told him in advance, you know, hours in advance. I told him like 11:30 at night, you know, I got a 7 a.m. flight. I got a 7:45 a.m. flight. So he was like, oh, okay, no problem. Okay. You know, I feel like he completely ignored me. So I got up around 5 a.m. So 2 hours before the departure time, 2 hours, have breakfast and all that stuff. I want to make sure I have an appetite. But he was not ready. This is the thing. He was not ready because he was so busy staying up all night. So, you know, I got to the airport like an hour before my flight takes off. And I need the, normally when you purchase your airline tickets, they normally give you some type of combination number. So I needed the number to do that. You know, so I tried and called and asked him, you know. So he was like, oh, I can't do it right now. I'm busy driving. This is something you should have had ready. This is something you should have had ready. You should have had this ready. You know, you should have had the number. How am I supposed to print out my airline tickets? How the hell am I supposed to do that? And then on top of it, some airlines, you have to take, like say for instance, wherever the hell gate your flight is leaving from, you know, you get to the airport. Sometimes you gotta take an air train. I know some airports, they have a train. So sometimes you gotta take a train to get to your destination. So and I also forgot all about it because I gotta take a train to get to my gate. So I finally did all of that. By the time I did, it was too late. You know, so that's the thing. That's what really made me so mad. And here's another thing, folks. When it comes down to planning, right, your airline, make sure you have someone that is trustworthy, because you don't want to just go on vacation with anybody. You know, yeah, they may be paying for your airline tickets. They may be doing it. Listen, scratch that off. If somebody offers to pay for your airline tickets, be like, nah, I'm good. You know, unless it's somebody that you really trust. Because if somebody offers you to pay for your airline tickets, I'll pay for your airline tickets, be like, no, I'm paying for my own stuff. Paying for it. Well, I ain't gonna cuss in this podcast. So, not today. I think I've cussed enough in my videos. But I'm paying for my own tickets. Simple as that. You know, make sure you pay for your own stuff. Don't rely on nobody, because here's the thing. A lot of people nowadays are not reliable. They're not reliable, period. Make sure you have your stuff ready and far enough in advance, because, and also, especially if you're traveling so far, you know, if you're traveling across the country, or if you're traveling across the world or something, or halfway, or if you're traveling halfway around the world, make sure you have your stuff ready. Don't depend on nobody, because that lesson, this was a life lesson for me. So when I went, coming back from Georgia to New York, you know, I was really relying on my dad. You know, I said to myself, you know what? I would never allow him to purchase my airline tickets ever again. Because here's the thing, this is a life lesson. Some people, you can't count on them. You cannot count on certain people, because it's just like some people are disorganized. See, this is the thing, they're disorganized. And they don't even know what the F they're doing half the time. They don't know what they're doing. Exactly. Yeah, it's right, Nick. Exactly. They don't know what they're doing. So you always got to make sure that you are relying on yourself when it comes down to these type of things, and also have somebody that is trustworthy when you're planning. See, now I'm at the point where I'm gonna start planning my own vacations. I got one friend I feel like I could really trust. So that's why I'm trying to plan this trip with him, because I feel like I could really trust him. Everybody else I can't. I really can't. I have one friend, one of my friends that I normally hang out with. I don't know what's going on with him. And then I got another friend, he's just disorganized. I can't go anywhere with him. I can't go anywhere with anybody that's disorganized. That's a bit too much. So yeah, so we're gonna pause on vacations, and let's talk about plan Bs. Time is it 8:33? So let's talk about plan Bs as well. It's always good to have a plan B. Now, a lot of people get upset when they only plan one thing, but they don't have a plan B, or they don't have something else to put into place. So you should always have a plan B as well, because if you don't have no plan B, you're screwed. It's like, what do? You're either going to be stuck at home, or you have to think of something else right away. Because especially if you took so much time off, like my plan B is, if I don't go to Florida, I'm going to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. That's my plan B. I'm going to Philly. See, I already have a plan B put into place, because my mom is always telling me, always have Chris, always have a plan B. You should always have a plan B in case plan A does not work out. I'm thinking about coming out with a plan C right now. If Florida don't work out, I'm gonna do Philly. If Philly doesn't work out, maybe I'll go to Washington, D.C. It's always good to have a plan B. Hey, and well, good morning to you. Glad you can make it. So, so it's always good to have a plan B, because if you don't have no plan B, see, this thing, a lot of people get so upset. They wanna throw a tantrum. They wanna not roll over the floor, but I'm just making an example. They wanna roll over the floor. They wanna get angry and get upset. Oh, why the F this didn't work out? This and that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, stupid thunderstorm, this and that. Why they cancel the flight? I was not able to go here and go there and blah, blah, blah. Always have a plan B. That's the thing. New Jersey Transit riders need a plan. Exactly, Ambrose. And so did the MTA. I feel like MTA never has a plan B. Now, I'm gonna just talk about this, though. They was so busy MTA was so busy trying to push out their stupid pricing congestion that they didn't even have a plan B. They have no type of plan B installed. No plan B, howsoever. Because it's like, that's it? Oh, we need pricing congestion, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It got paused, now what? And then when people was asking them, when people was asking the head of MTA, so what was your plan B? Did you guys have a plan B in case price of congestion didn't work out? They was like, no. And I was just shaking my head. I was like, wow. I'm like, these MFs didn't even have no type of plan B, plan C, none of that. I'm like, these people are really disorganized. Really disorganized. So it's always good to have a plan B. Like, if you want to go to Japan or Australia, this place, we have 188 different countries in this world. So, like, if you decide you want to go to Japan, and say for instance, the weather and all that stuff, Japan has there's really bad weather, on your way to Japan, so the flight gets canceled. Your international flight gets canceled. Always have a plan B. Okay, so if I don't go to Japan, I'm gonna go to Paris. If Paris don't work out, I'm gonna go to Africa, South Africa. If Africa doesn't work out, then I'm gonna go to India. Or if India doesn't work out, then I'm gonna go to London, the UK. Or if London, the UK does not work out, I'm gonna go to Brazil. Or Brazil don't work out, I'm gonna go to Canada. Always have some type of plan B. It's always good to plan. Hey Robert, good to see you. How you doing, Robert? Good to see you again on this channel. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing? For anyone that just came in here, I'm a little bit nervous. What time is it? 8:37. So for anyone that had just came in here, we're talking about how to plan vacations, how far in advance should you plan, and always have a plan B. So those are the two topics we are talking about for this podcast as well. Just pouring my coffee down my pie hole, hungry. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm probably, I would get some coffee, but it's gonna be very, very hot today, so I may have to just grab something cold on my way to work. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Exactly, and exactly. And planning is also good as well. You should definitely plan. Like next year, I'm planning on going to Chicago. I'm gonna plan in May, around Memorial Day weekend. So I'm not planning yet to go there, but I'm gonna start planning around January. To go to Chicago for Memorial Day weekend. I feel like that would be a perfect timing to go. So if I plan around January, that should give me plenty of time in advance. Like, it'll give me enough time to get I'm definitely flying because I'm not taking no train and I don't even drive. So give me enough time to get my airline tickets together, hotels. So these are things you have to look into, and things, take time, and also around that weekend, it's also a holiday weekend. So things can really book up pretty fast around those type of weekends. Can book pretty fast, and the prices could go up really, really fast. So I don't want to plan around April or March. I want to plan at least 4 or 5 months in advance. So that's what I want to do. So that's the whole, and plus too, you also got to have a good strategy, and it's also going to be the same person that I'm going to go with, that I'm planning to go to Florida next month as well. So right now, like I said, I'm still planning, Florida and everything. I do know this travel agent, so she's going to look up stuff, book everything. All we have to do is just have our money ready. So me and my friend, we don't have to look into anything. So that's one great thing too. Like if you know someone who's a travel agent, travel agents are good because they know a lot about traveling. They have a good experience with traveling, and they know how to book flights, hotels, resorts, and everything. And let me just say this though, if you guys are going out of town, I definitely recommend staying at a resort because you have your breakfast. I think some of them come with that. You also comes with a nice outdoor pool. You don't have to leave the resort. You can just go have a good time, because that's what I did last time when I was in Florida. But I wasn't in Miami. I was in Orlando, Florida as well. So, but it was a pretty nice time. But let me just take a pause for a second. Yeah, all included, Juanita, all included. So I'm just take a pause for a second because I'm just trying to calm down a bit you know. Yeah, so, but anyways, y'all, yes, I'm gonna try and catch up with the chat for a second. Darlene says, go with the flow. If you get to some place that you want to see and it's closed, or you can't get tickets, etc., look around the area and you're about to find something else. That's true, Darlene. That's another good way of doing it. None of these countries are working out. I'm supposed to leave for next month, Sebastian. I'm supposed to. I'm planning on leaving next month. That's why I'm planning right now. None of these countries are working out at the same time. I'm taking that as a sign I should stay home. Oh, well, you said you was coming to NYC, Darlene, for your honeymoon. You said you was coming. I think was it. I know you said you was going to get married this weekend, and I think you said you was going to be on vacation for a couple of days. So you said you was gonna come to NYC for a little bit as well. I don't know if you're still planning for that, Darlene. I'm not sure if you still are, but I hope you have a wonderful wedding. I hope you have the best honeymoon here in NYC. I mean, you definitely picked NYC as the right choice for your honeymoon, because there's so much to do in the city. The week of Labor Day, which is next week is going to be a lot to do. It's definitely going to be a lot to do. I do want to bring this up. There's also going to be a night market on Columbus Circle and 59th Street and 8th Avenue around Columbus Circle. So there's going to be a night market, Darlene. If you want to check that out, there's going to be a vegan night market. I'm planning on going there Tuesday, because I'm going to be going out, because Tuesday is my day. So I'm going to be going there as well. I am Chris. You were talking about if you can't go to Paris, then go to Africa, go to India, etc. Yeah, exactly, Darlene. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I was basically talking about just having a plan B, because, you know, it's always good to have a plan B in case plan A does not work out as well. So we're 22 minutes into this podcast. We have 9 people on here. Thank you so much for spending a part of your Wednesday morning. Appreciate it so much. I know it's kind of slow this morning because it's kind of early for a lot of people. And I know for a lot of people that live on the West Coast as well, so it's like almost 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's like 5:45 in the morning. But if you're on the West Coast, like California, Vegas, and if you're up extra early just to watch me, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for tuning in as well. I know it was pretty early, but I think next Wednesday, what was I gonna do next Wednesday? I might resume at my regular time as well, because if this morning didn't work out, then I was gonna wait until around 2:30 after work to go on. So that's what I was gonna do. Let me see, it's 8:40. I can't believe I nearly missed it. Sorry, I was filming on YouTube. Oh, no worries, Jen, no worries. But good to see you, Jen. Good to see you. I think in the next 13 minutes, I'm going to end the podcast as well. Let me see what time it is. 8:40 something. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this podcast around 35 minutes. That's what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna stay on here long because I have work, unfortunately. But it's just what it is. But if I probably waited until after work, then I can podcast even longer, but that's okay. I don't need to podcast long. I watched the replay with the help of the algorithm. Okay, no problem. I am Jen. Do you have a channel? Yeah, do you have a channel, Jen? Just curious. But let me continue on. I'm not gonna waste time with it. If you guys would like to become a member of this channel, everybody, the link to the Discord is in the description. So if you guys want to if you're interested in becoming a member of this channel, membership is $2.99 a month. So the first 30 days is free. So the first 30 days is free, and then after those 30 days, if you want to keep your membership, you will pay the $2.99 on if you want to stay a member on this channel. Yes, I do, Jen. Yes, that's to my yeah, the Discord is to my membership as well. It's to my membership Discord. The link is in the description, everybody. If you want to become, if you're not a member and if you're interested in becoming a member, the Discord link to my membership is in the description if you're interested in becoming a member as well. And I may have, okay. But anyways, yeah, Jen, we were just talking about planning for vacations, and we're just talking about plan Bs, having a plan for, and I was just explaining why you should always have a plan B. But if you guys like to write in the chat about what you think about planning, as far as planning vacations, or as far as having a plan B, I'd like to hear it in the chat. But let me finish up this plan B, and then we're gonna go back to planning vacations as well. Tomorrow, everybody, I'm gonna do a live stream in New Jersey. I might do a bike riding stream, another bike riding stream as well, you know, just to spice it up a bit. I don't know yet. I might do a bike riding live stream out in New Jersey tomorrow. So guys, stay tuned, everybody. All of this week, I'm gonna be doing live streams in New Jersey because I really want to take advantage of the free ride in New Jersey. So I really want to do that. So, yeah, free transit, exactly. Well, you're coming here this weekend, Darlene. So if you want to go to New Jersey, Darlene, definitely take advantage as well of the free ride. I'm not sure what day you're coming into New York, but whatever day this weekend you're coming in, the free ride is up until Labor Day. But yeah, so but actually that'll be a good topic for next week's podcast, everybody. I think that would be a great topic for next week's podcast. We're gonna talk about transportation. Should transportation be free? So that'll be the topic for next week's podcast. Hey, yo, Ange, good to see you. Let's get free rides for a week in NYC, right, Ange? Yes, exactly. You know, though, if MTA would get their head out of their freaking butts and stop obsessing over the stupid price of congestion, you know, maybe we can get a whole week of free rides. Like, a lot of us get so damn tired of paying. Honestly, get tired of paying. But back to the topic of this podcast, everybody. Because I don't have much time left because it's 8:50. So we're getting ready to wrap up the podcast in 5 minutes because I have to be to work soon, unfortunately. So apologize for it. Yoange has plans. Wait a minute. Yoange plans a cruise over a year in advance. LOL. Oh yeah, I did heard that, Ambrose. Yes. Yeah, especially if you're planning to go on a cruise, you know, especially if you're, especially if you're planning on going on a cruise. See, that's another thing. A cruise, something like a cruise, it's always good to plan a year in advance. You should definitely plan a year in advance because, especially if it's your very, very first time going on a cruise, because you don't know what to expect. You know, like, I have not been on a cruise since I was 15 years old. And I'm about to be 29 next week. So it's been about 14 years since I've been on a cruise. So, right around there. So I haven't been on a cruise in a minute. Have not been on a cruise in a hot minute. So something like a cruise is always good to plan in advance. And for anyone that just came in here, I was also talking about plan Bs. You know, why it's also good to have a plan B in case plan A does not work out. It's always good to have one. Let's see here. Lori, good to see you. Welcome. Actually, welcome to my podcast, actually. Thank you for joining my podcast this morning. Good to see you, Lori. Good to see you. Let's see what Lori says. Well, you look cool around all the people in Christopher's chat today. Oh, yeah. And well, yeah, next week, and well, it's coming so fast. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it's coming so fast. And guys, that day I'm gonna be doing 2 live streams that day. So guys, stay tuned for that next week. Next week I'm gonna be doing Taco Tuesday. This Tuesday, everybody, I'm gonna be doing Taco Tuesday. And then let me see. After work, I'm gonna do afternoon stream in Corona Park, and then later on I'm gonna come back on and do Taco Tuesday. And then at Chipotle, and then I'm gonna go to the spot. So we're gonna get some Sunny D's, the vodka seltzers. We're gonna go to. I'm planning on going to the dive bar for Tuesday night's live stream, and then I'm gonna try to. There's a night market on Columbus Circle. I'm gonna try and make that one Tuesday night because I really want to see it. So I definitely want to see the night market. So it's always good seeing night markets. I definitely don't want to miss that as well. But anyways, so yeah, so we're gonna remain here for another 3 to 4 more minutes. Man, it's getting late. I gotta get ready for work. Wish I had more time to discuss this, but I don't. But yeah, it's always good to have a plan B. You know, as I was saying, we was talking about plan Bs, y'all, for anyone that just came in here, because a lot of people like to get upset when they don't have a plan B. So when something does not work out, so that's when the plan B comes in, plan C, you know, and have a plan B. You know, you got to keep having backup plans in case 1, 2, or 3, you know, the first 3 plans don't work out. Always just keep having a backup plan. Just keep planning. It's always good to do that. Always good to do so. And like I said, when it comes down to vacations, you got to plan months in advance or a year in advance. A year in advance is good. I recommend a year in advance when you're planning for a vacation, because you want to make sure you're definitely doing that, or definitely doing so as well. If my flight cancels in December, I'm driving to NYC. Oh, really? Okay, Layla. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's another way you can do it. So, drive, take the train, I'm not gonna say take the bus. You don't want to take the bus, because I know someone took the bus all the way from Ohio to New York. That's a long way. That's your plan B? Awesome. Awesome, Layla. That is so awesome. Having a plan B or even having a plan C takes the stress of having to think on your feet when things don't work out right. Exactly, Jen. Exactly. That's definitely exactly. You know, I feel like that's really, really good. You know, and if you're planning stuff, if you're planning to do stuff, especially, like I said, especially around the holiday season, because that's like the very end of the year, and especially around the Thanksgiving break. I'm gonna say around the Thanksgiving break. If you're planning to do something during breaks like the Christmas break or the Thanksgiving break, you want to plan at least a good 6 or 7 months in advance, because bus will be plan Z. Yeah, Jen. Yeah, plan Z, the bus. Make the bus at the bottom of the list. But I wouldn't even rely on the bus to go so far out, especially across the country, because you don't know what routes you're taking and all that stuff. Now, if I'm going somewhere like to Atlantic City, you know, I'll definitely take the bus for that. Well, I have to take the bus because there ain't no trains. New Jersey Transit don't even go to Atlantic City. So that's the thing. So I'll definitely for Atlantic City, will have to take the bus to go there, but it's just what it is. But anyways, it's getting closer to my work time, everybody. We have 13 people on here. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody. So this is not going to be a long podcast, everybody. Like I said, for anyone, if you guys missed today's podcast, you guys can go back and watch the replay of it. Anyways, folks, I gotta hurry up and get going and get to work because my shift starts soon, everybody. So, hello, Joe. Good to see you. I'm wrapping up my podcast, Joe. It's not going to be a long one. You guys can watch the replay if you guys miss today's episode. Anyways, folks, thank you guys so much for joining today's podcast, everybody. The next podcast will be next Wednesday, September the 4th, everybody. So the topic for next week's podcast will be, should public transportation be free? So now that's a juicy topic as well. Should we get public transportation for free? You know, and I know what a lot of answers are, but don't type in the chat. To save that for next week's podcast. We'll talk about that next week. Anyways, folks, take care. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.